Hey, didn't realize somebody popped in here. What's up? Just finished this project. Just wanted to talk about it. Inspired. I don't sound inspired. Um, yeah, I guess I'm just in the routine of going live. So if you're catching this on the replay, like the stream or like the video. They didn't seem that long. I don't know. I don't even know. It seems like the sun passed these trees and it's not gonna be dark for quite some time. Today I worked on that um little patio right there. It's a random well, the project wasn't random. What was random is that it wasn't on the docket today. Um I probably should go into the pool and do some digging, but had some happenings today. If you're just joining the stream, it really just started. I haven't even gotten much started. I don't really know if I have a topic today other than I just wanted to show off my little um, patio that I just made. I was walking past it back and forth today. Like you're not gonna do anything. What's that like Everest college commercial? I felt like I was on the couch. You're not gonna do anything. You're just sitting there, and something clicked. I've been just kind of going with the flow. Hey, Sprunky. I just been going with the flow and letting the projects just like come to life. As long as I'm not trapping myself or spending a lot of money or too much time away, a lot of these things just kind of help me. Um, so I was debating about literally yesterday. I was walking past this. Let me get up so you could kind of see it better. Just make slight adjustment. If you have any questions, please ask. If you don't want to hang around, don't hang around. I don't I don't have an amazing stream today, but you never know. You never know. So let's make sure what you can see. Okay, so you can see me, and as of yesterday, this platform didn't exist. And when I kind of designed this whole run area and where it was going to be, the vision was to have a bench here. And, I could have done that with just having grass. But I was adamant about being able to keep it maintained pretty well by mowing and having hardscapes next to it. So today I woke up and I was battling through what course should I take because there's a trellis that I haven't built yet that I'm trying to get beans to grow up. This it looks like a stage. And when I say this thing is built is built well, like everything I build, I over engineer it. Um, so it's built pretty well, and the chickens were out. We did have a breach in my garden, and I figured, yeah, y'all just need to chill out because I'm all over the place today. But yeah, so now this is kind of in. The only thing that's left is really knocking this around to reveal where I gotta push sand inside the polymeric sand inside. But as of yesterday, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know whether I was gonna do a concrete pour. I had some bricks. Hold on, let me just check out the comments real quick. Karen, what's up? say 5'5". I didn't know what I was gonna do, and it was. I have so many angles that I could go with it. I love doing reclaimed wood projects, decking boards. I was thinking of just making it a wood deck. Then I was thinking, oh, I don't want to buy to catch a splinter. It's used. It may not get used all the time, but it will be used. This is the vision for it. The sun has passed by the trees. We're not going to get any more sun, and it'll kind of be nice and bright until it gets dark. And it'll be a really cool place to sit while the chickens are in the background and all of the vegetation is going to grow up behind me. So it'll be a nice place to sit. I don't have a name for the area yet, but it'd be pretty awesome. So how I made the decision, uh, I was in the middle of overcomplicating it, and I went and got. I'll show you actually. I went over and I told myself this, this is exactly what I did. I went and found a wood board and I said to myself, okay, how would you feel? All right, let's just put it down, right? I pressed it up against here and I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna have to cut that. So then I went and got a measuring tape and I I cut it. Well, I sorry, I didn't go get a measuring tape. I went and got a 4x4 post and I cut that same 4x4 post. And I was thinking I was gonna do a square. Brandon, what's up? Yo, it's me. I was thinking I was just gonna do a square, and then when I got the 4x4 post, I did not. I thought it wasn't enough space. I didn't think I was gonna have much bricks, and it was gonna kind of overpower it. And then I realized I'm not moving them no time soon. So I think it's a pretty solid installation is going to be there. So how do I get that to stay? I said, okay, let me just, I remember having some extra rebar that I pulled out the ground and it was little, it wasn't, it wasn't new. It wasn't fresh. Let's just put it that way. So my wife comes by and she's like, why are you not going to use that? And I'm like, it's a little on the thin side. I want some more because I'm an over engineer. When somebody breaks apart all the things that I've done, they're gonna know who I am. They're gonna they're gonna be like, okay, I get it now. There's layers to it. Part of it is I'm learning. Part of it I like to use real materials that last a long time. And so I figured, I'll use them. So I convinced myself that I was going to use the rebar. I had to find a drill bit and just went all around looking for a right size drill bit. I had one that was a little small, but I still was able to drill out enough so that and I just went and got my sledgehammer and started hitting in the rebar. And that pretty much made sure that the whatever was going to be behind it at that time didn't go anywhere. And even when I did that, I didn't have to go this route. I could have still did a concrete pour. um the benefit if I were to do a pour would probably be, I mean, I still probably get some weeds in there, but it would be less like work over time. um but I didn't want to do all of that, and it comes at a cost no matter what. Do I have the concrete? Am I going to get concrete? Ironically, everything I built, I already had, except for the fact that I wanted to put some paver base to make it like nice and flat. So I went out to go get paver base. All the other materials I already had. and they weren't on the new side. It was just more or less, okay, this is leftover from this project, this is leftover from that project. Probably not going to use it anywhere else, so just use it here. The bricks, so happy I started using the bricks, and the more I use the bricks that I have, because when we did one project, there was an order that went in. I didn't do the order. Not gonna talk about that. But the order that went in, we got a ton of extra bricks. And when I say a ton, I don't mean, I mean in weight, it probably feels like a ton. 2,000 pounds. They're pretty bricks. And at the time, it didn't bother me because I figured we would use them, right? So they haven't gone anywhere and we haven't used them. I have a lot of ideas on how to use them, just haven't used them. So this is like the first project that we were able to use them, and they obviously look good, and it helps to tie in the whole property. Um, Also, it's like the call out. I was a little worried about using them with like leveling sand. This might make me use it in my area over there. Yeah, as long as the leveling sand could go on top of the clean gravel, yeah, I think that'll work. But we'll figure that out. I'm not gonna stress myself right now. So, yeah, it was an awesome project. And once I put down I had some that landscaping or construction, woven fabric, and I put that underneath, paper base on top, flatten that, went with my gut. I didn't pull out I used the measuring tape, but other than the measuring tape, I didn't even use a level until pretty much finished the paper base layer. So this is all kind of self leveling. I had I think it's yeah, that looks like an 8x8. I'm looking at it over there. I had an 8x8 tamper. So when you're putting pressure down on the tamper, it wants to flatten something, flatten it level, as long as you're using the tamper the right way. So I just trusted my instinct, and I it wasn't is not supposed to be this large flat patio that I'm gonna be graded on. So I figured, let me just keep going in that direction, and it worked out. It really worked out. So once I flattened that, put the sand on top, took my time. I was looking at how do I get the appropriate level based on the edge. If I do it again, what I would do, which would help me, is I would draw a line that I want, not only but the base level. I would draw a line. I would score a line on the wood before I put it down, and that way I have like a guide as to like the level that it gets to, because it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be close, so then I'm not using too much of a material where I'm not supposed to be using it, right? So I was able to use like the leveling, saying it's probably an area because the ground is sloping down, and the challenge with this is that I had to excavate going backwards. So when I excavated it going backwards just to get it flat, and then tamp down the subsoil. So chickens seem to like it. They they actually, yesterday, when I decided that I was gonna build this, uh, I went and got a hoe, a garden hoe, and I was hey brother Eric, and I was yeah, not only looks good, the only issue, it's not an issue, but I'll show you. So I was thinking to myself, okay, I could come out here. The bench is gonna be there anyway, but I gotta be very careful about the size of the bench. The reason why It is now when I say this thing is like it's good, right? The reason why I didn't want to bring it out is because I want to have the lawnmower going right on the edge, so I have a clean edge and everything is hardscape. So I can actually I can use my weed whacker, no issue. So everything you got cinder blocks, got a nice wood edge. This wood has been outside on the ground. I don't think that thing is even weatherable. I'll just have to deal with the look. I'm thinking about even painting it. That might help to just give some more color to it. But I like the earth tone as is. But yeah, I could weed whack right across this. But here's the problem I was going to show you real quick. So I have this bulky chair that I'm not sure is staying here on the property. So I was like, you know what? We're going to have a stream and I'm going to sit on this. And I put this chair here and it's like, it has like an inch before it's going to like literally fall off. So I will not sit on that. I won't sit on that. I mean, I can sit on it, but it's one of those seats that you go down and you're like hoping that everything works out. But it'll be a bench. Um, my wife was saying from before we planned this. When I say we planned it, we planned. Yeah, I've been just slowly. This is definitely in the vision, but she was saying, why not just make a bench that is the um connected to the cinder blocks, like one of those cinder block benches. And I was saying, I I want a bench. I want maybe like a teak bench, especially since I didn't spend any money on the project, which is nice, right? But I don't have a real bench on the property. I want a nice bench, and this would be a cool area. I spend a lot of time. I want to use the cinder blocks or the planting areas to. I'm probably gonna do a vertical structure over the that little patio. So you'll have a seat, and then you'll have, maybe some grapes. I don't know, something that'll go up, and we gotta eat. At the end of the day, we gotta eat. So that's what it's about. But yeah, I just got that together today. It wasn't in the plan. It turned out to be the plan. I was frustrated. I I I had to use of course, when you're laying bricks, the way that it's usually gonna work out is you have to make some cuts. And because this wasn't today's plan, and I'm pretty far from the house, I have the EcoFlow, which is pretty much a lifesaver when it comes to being able to use power tools like away from the house. But I I saw I was using an angle grinder to cut the bricks. Nice clean cut, right? Use a masonry cutoff wheel and nice clean cuts. Should wear a mask. I didn't today. But I definitely had glasses on. But I'm like outside, and the way that the angle grinder was going, you could see where the dust is going, and I try not to breathe for like 10 seconds and take. I try to keep it safe, but yeah, I was just trying to get through the work, and the cutoff wheel that I started with, I noticed that there was a little piece of it. I was just trying to, use it until it messed up. Of course, it messed up when we were like at the 98% point. It was like two more bricks to cut. I made one move that I shouldn't have. I got distracted to cut the wheel, and that was the only one I had. The other one that I have was not for the angle grinder. I have one for the circular saw, but I don't use my I forgot what you call the big one. I use the portable, more of the portable one that's battery operated, which is a different blade size. So the 7-inch blade is kind of no good to me because I wasn't setting all of that up. I wasn't cracking open that blade. So my wife was nice enough to, she was going to the store, or thought that she was going to go to the store. So she went and got another cutoff wheel, and I was able to take a break, and which I usually don't do because I pushed through to get the project done, and I was able to take a break. And then she came like an hour and 20 minutes later, and the cutoff wheel came, and I got back to it. And all these skills that I've accumulated over the years, thinking about using an angle grinder. Even today when I was using it, I don't use it that much. I was like, you're skilled, but stop rushing through things. Slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit. We had company, and it was kind of bothersome in the middle of a project. The company like came in, and I'm in like critical. I pay very close attention to detail. I'm very detail oriented, and when the distraction came, I was like, oh, so I still got my digits, but that's definitely not the tool that you want to be distracted by, and have people who don't understand like what you're doing and don't understand that they could be distracted. You're nothing against the people because I love them, but it is really hard work. Katie, you catching me live? Look what I built, Katie. Look at that. Look, that was the. I'm sure you've seen all this area, but I just did that today, and nice to see you. It's been. I see you in the comments on the lives, but yeah, I was able to get this thing. Is at a really good place now. My you love power tools. Yes, you must be careful. Yeah, no, I have a collection, and my father, I remember when he was here years ago before he had his stroke, he was like, man, I could go shopping in your in your spot. I got tools I don't even know I have. I'm at the phase now where I want to learn how to take care of my tools better. Oh man, I was gonna turn the camera around and had a nice V formation in the sky. um I just want to take care of my tools better. So like I said, me and my wife, we've been kicking butt when it comes to working together. It ain't always easy. We don't have the same uh, styles. I think the best that you could be is just honest about that. When we talk about it, I don't deny that she would be able to get stuff done on her own. Um, but together, it probably takes us longer together in most things if we both want to do things. Katie says, "Can I borrow your brain to get me through algebra?" Of course, of course. Might need to send you to my daughter. Yeah, but Eric says you gotta organize them better. I mean, look, the way whoever organized whatever works for you works for you. I went through the whole um you need this. I used to buy those tools and you hang everything, and I don't know, man. I just need my shed. I don't have the appropriate spaces, and I mix areas to where things are supposed to be. And then another issue is obviously I'm able to pluck all of this medium. Like again, Katie, I didn't buy anything to build this. This is all here. Uh, the 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 rebar to put the posts to the post was here. The post came from my old chicken run, um, paver base from an old project, leveling sand from an old project, the bricks from my old patio that I built. So sometimes a lot of these materials are hanging out where my tools are, and they're taking up this space. So I need to be better sometimes about that and just prioritizing the tools that are used frequently and knowing where they are. And then look, I freaking who knows where this screw came from. If I pull out my Carhartt, um, who knows what's gonna be in these pockets. I'm gonna just look. I'm gonna go in the pocket and I'm gonna just show you how I roll. I have no idea what's gonna come out of here. All right. So we got uh we got decking screws. It looks like 2.5 inch decking screws. I have nails from it, like, and when I throw this jacket on, I'm just loaded. This is what it is. So I'll get there. I'll get there. I just want to take care of the tools better for sure. Organization to me is second. Yep, Katie said, I love yous when I already have. I'm beyond blessed. Oh, okay. Do it yourself. Or yeah, I'm a DIY, but I'm okay. I'm okay buying. I'm getting better with that. I think you can't. Sometimes you could do it to a fault, right? Like I don't know if I could ever buy a chicken coop, because a chicken coop is one of those things that they sell like overpriced, and I mean they just don't require much, right? They just don't require much. And if you see the prices, I even there was one point in COVID when I built my chicken coop, and I still owe you guys a video just to give some context to it, and I want to show pictures. You'll see old pictures from 4 or 5 years ago. Um, when I built the coop, I asked my wife. I didn't know at the time. I said, "How much do you think we saved with building this coop?" And a lot of that was repurposed materials as well. She was like, "This coop could be maybe $5,000." I'm like, I need to get into this coop building business. I've actually watched a lot of not a lot, but I've watched a couple channels of people who sell commercially, like sell coops and different coop designs. It's good to think, but my reality is I wouldn't know how to market that and distribute that. I'd probably be holding on to a lot of inventory. Now I could go the other route and I could build a coop and build a couple and just have them there, put them for sale. When somebody decides to buy them, they buy them, and not really be in the business of selling coops. But my whole thing with having reclaim, using upcycling materials and reclaiming wood and other materials and making them into something and just having it ready to go. um, I've just been working through designs. I mean, the one you see behind me, that's built on a pallet. I haven't even dressed that thing up yet. I'm I really wanted to put the Philadelphia Love at the base of it, and like I wanted to like stand out so I could show. I want people to be attracted to it more, and not see it as like a place where the chickens go to perch and poop and lay. So we'll get there. I'm getting closer. Like I said, this starts the game, because once the bench is there, it doesn't matter the height of the grass. I could come and feel comfortable and get away. And even if I have weeds behind me, And you would think we got weeds. Uh, thank you saying I'm talented. You would think that this is all weeds, but I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys. So I am disappointed that I haven't filled in every hole yet, but this is horseradish. I don't know if you guys use horseradish leaves. Brother Eric, you should try this. Um, I got onions that I put here. Each module is not filled yet. I just haven't made the soil, and now that I got everything wound down, I'll be able to do it. I did backfill the soil in the big section, and I transplanted this chamomile, I think on Thursday. I have a little thyme here that I got from another area, so hoping I could support that to be lush. And these two different types of lavender. And then I have a Jerusalem artichoke that I saved from underneath one of these cinder blocks, and I moved it, and it actually looked like it wasn't gonna make it, but it looks like it's doing good now. So I'm gonna get some sunflowers and amaranth over here, and this is just gonna be like amazingly beautiful. And I see behind the fence there's a blackberry that survived. So as long as it doesn't tear up the fence with the way the vigor that it grows in, we'll be fine. So we're killing it, and as long as the stuff is green, I said to myself, as long as the stuff is green, um, I'm not babying anything over there. This is a horseradish leaf. They're kind of spicy. It I, I saw your short and I didn't even. Oh man, I saw your short and it didn't even dawn on me. I don't know. I gotta go back and check it because they have the young leaves have a pretty interesting growth pattern. Like they it looks the same, but they're different color green. So no, I eat this. This is this is straight out. He said, bro, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Oh my god, this one is spunky. So what I do is some people don't like stems. So I'll get another one. Guys, this is my first eating in the garden in a couple of weeks. So just like most of the greens, they're more bitter the older they are. So I think the younger leaves, they're a little bit more. This has a well, be careful. Make sure look, if you I don't know, if you want to see the pattern, it has a little curl to it. What I do when it comes to if you really want to know and you have multiple of them, brother Eric, if you really want to know, dig. First of all, you can't kill this. If that's what you have, you can't kill it. Ain't gonna die. The plant will be. Oh, I see a bunny. Man, I just be having life around. Um, you see it clear. Yeah, that's cool. And taste it a little bit. You'll get a little spice on it. What I do is I scale down. I'll just take a knife and I'll scale down the main vein, and I'll get like two. I'll try to demonstrate. When I was blessed enough to my coach um took me. This is It's a nice sized bunny. I like to see as long as they stay out the garden. They got a lot of other green to eat. Um, my coach was Korean, part Korean, and he took me to a Korean restaurant in the city. And when they serve, there's a lot of things that they serve that you're supposed to like share as like an intimate experience. So they would serve the it was some sort of meat that they served, and it was in a leaf. So I use it kind of like people would use like a banana leaf. I'll make a sandwich and I'll just roll up the sandwich, or because they actually have ones. I usually get ones bigger than this. So I mean, you could see like this is, you know, pretty close to the size of my head. So I'll instead of eating bread, I'll just, whether I'm eating like sandwich meat or now that's not a good example because now I need a drink. But yeah, no, I'll it'll give like a nice spice to. I don't know if you like mustard or whatever, but this with like, mustard or some pickles, man, this is the horseradish is good. It's good. I haven't gotten to the point where I grade the um yeah, yeah, I use it as bread. Yeah, that's when I'm getting like conscious and I'm trying to, just cut the calories on the meal. But you could also saute these down and eat it with eggs. The stem, a lot of times, just like the kales, a lot of the vitamin K is in the stem. So as long as you and if you're really good about pickling and that's the stuff that you want to pickle, but I'll dice these really small and just add them to stuff just to have extra. But you can't kill this. You cannot. I don't want to say it like that, but you can't kill this. If you really want to know what it is, the root will be white. It'll look like a carrot. It will. It may be a little malformed and thicker, but it'll look like a carrot. And if you want to just take a piece off of it, it'll smell like wasabi. It'll smell just and taste just like wasabi, and leaf and root edible. So that's so crazy though. I haven't watched videos, I don't think, this week, but I was watching your stuff like every day and I absolutely saw that video and it did not dawn on me to even think maybe that's a horseradish. So I'm glad that we had that experience. Look at the crew. The crew is they shift this over. It's too spicy. The leaf is more tolerable, Katie, than the root. The leaf is it has more of a it has I mean, it just tastes like greens for the most part, and then it has like a little ting to it. Like Kate, have you ever eaten like flowers like nasturtiums? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I use Google Lens, brother Eric, as far as apps, but I would say the way I operate, and now I'm in one habitat now, right? So to say I come across a plant that I've never seen on my property is not the case anymore. But when I was in that mode, I would definitely put it in a Google Lens. What I now do is I try to get to understand the plants at different growth stages. So recognizing like a seedling of a certain plant that might express itself different. You will be adventurous when you come to my house, Katie. When my mom comes over, I've done meals that are just in the garden just to give her more exposure to what I'm doing. And I would just make garden only meal, like property only meals. So you might have omelet with this. I may saute some horseradish in an omelet. You won't even. It'll just be like, I don't know what that is, what flavor that is, but it's good. That it wouldn't be much. But yeah, like I was saying, brother Eric, I I kind of look at like the family, the family of what's in what family. That's kind of how I look at pretty much every. I'm looking down around me, like I see some broadleaf, some clover, and once you kind of get familiar with the family of everything, you may see a descendant of something in the family, and usually there's a lot of similarities as to, how to keep it alive, whether it's edible. So, but it does take time. I don't know what your goals are. I mean, a lot of people, I see you in the garden. I'm very particular about um, permaculture and knowing that I have to grow soil in order to pair with the plants. So I've annuals are not even, really my thing. I'm I wouldn't say I'm just learning or just getting started. I kind of neglected annual gardening because my perennial learning was really important to me. My annuals are not the last 3 days. Today I went and actually purchased some more herbs today. I purchased some cilantro, some lemon balm, and bee balm. I believe lemon balm and bee balm are potentially, uh, potentially perennial. Cilantro could pretty much seed itself. You think it's rural here? That's how I make it look, brother. It's the suburbs. No, it's you know what it is. Everyone here has an acre plot, so I like said I'm the only one with a garden around here. Everyone usually people, grass is cut. My neighbor, 2 houses down, and he pays like $400 a month to get his grass cut. Like grass is always pretty, manicured trees, all land well landscaped. Uh, so zero zero acres. Is that what that is? Yeah, it's nice. I don't know how it plays out over time, but I'm more the more I learn, the having acreage without a longer growing season, just for my personality type and for the amount of effort that I'm giving out. I mean, I feel like I'm doing the thing, man. I'm really getting into a zone to where I'm making this look effortless, but there are parts of it that aren't really resolved. Like my lawnmower is really, I tried to start it today, and I think there's a new issue. So, there's some things that I'm trying to tie up, but it doesn't take away from my knowledge base. I've grown a knowledge base on what I'm looking at, what are ways to tolerate or deal with that, and I experiment. Like my biggest, so I'll ask you, brother Eric, what is your biggest weed? What is the biggest weed problem that you have? And how do you I want to say how do you think about it? Yeah, you see how, man, I'm from the city. I know what that's like. Yeah, houses and, but there's a mix though, because I I feel like I'm a very social person, and being so far away from people, it fits when I want to be in my project zone. It doesn't fit when like weeks have gone by and I haven't interacted with a human. Like a lot of what I said it yesterday. Like permaculture, a part of the pillars is people care, and that has to do with like community. So me sharing what I see in permaculture, the things that I'm doing here. We're talking about, horseradish, and um, I want to do that within reach, not just on the internet. So when you're in a more dense place, there's a different opportunity. And I don't know if for me if it's like the grass is greener, but I want to go to Chicago and I want to feed people. I want to I want to get people to learn all of these things that we've been taught is not what we think it is. Like the fact that I just asked you about, like, what's your worst weed? What is a weed? What's a weed? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you weeds, right? According to how we call weeds, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing with them now. I'm freaking growing. So let me just put that over there. Caesar, what's up? It's your moment. So this bed over here, right? This is the bed that the biggest weed. Oh, that's not a weed. don't you don't you say foul stuff like that, brother Eric. Dandelion. Oh man. Here's what I'll say. Dandelion, check out if you can. I'll try to find it for you. Jeff Lawton talks about the reason why the weed is growing. Dandelion is very it attracts to compacted soil. So it's trying to like break up the soil. Calcium is bringing calcium up from the deep roots. So anytime something is like deep, so it's bringing it up. So what Jeff Lawton talks about is trying to use those things. So what people do is they mow. You mow. I know you mow, brother Eric. You mow, and when the greenery grows. Let's say there's calcium. Say it is calcium, right? You know how people put lime on their grass? That's calcium, right? So the dandelion is loosening up the soil because it's too compacted, and it's bringing up calcium. Now, when you mow and you put it in a bag and you shift where you're putting that, the dandelion didn't fulfill its need to add calcium back into the scenario. It actually failed to do so. So the same conditions at which it sprouted, because seeds are going to sprout because you've met the requirement of the condition as to what it's trying to fix, right? And the seed bank is here. We should be happy that the seed bank is here, because if there was no seed bank, we would be searching for. Oh, I just hope greens grow. I just wish there was a Wally plant somewhere and it would grow. So that's why I tend to be careful about digging into the earth, because then you end up with all these weeds. So here I have lamb's quarter. Okay, this is lamb's quarter. Um, this the how you know is I'll try to get a bigger one because I taught my kids this. Lamb's quarter is probably the easiest one to identify. The leaves are hydrophobic, and when you touch the back of it has like this silvery thing, and when you touch it, it kind of like wipes off. So this is technically wild spinach. Oh yeah, yeah. No, you should eat it. You could make coffee out of the root. Yeah, no, I'll check your video out about that. That's awesome. But make sure that you're figuring out the part with the nutrients, because you're always gonna have them, but if they're just in abundance and that's all that's there, you're still not fulfilling the diversity thing. So you're gonna have issues over time for sure. Um, so that's lamb's quarter. I got some mullein. I forgot where. Um, so mullein, this is the wild toilet paper. This when I see it pop up, I just know where it's at in a just in case scenario. It's super soft. You tell me your favorite toilet paper. This is 3 ply. This is no, no, seriously, seriously. This is super soft. This is wild toilet paper right here. I have I've never tried, but it's super soft, super soft. Um, I is yarrow. Yarrow smells amazing. The flowers are amazing. I have golden ones around, pinks and purples. Um, this is great for compost. Believe you could eat it raw. Mm. It has like a earthy taste, but the teas are good. Um, so many uses for yarrow. Yarrow's in a lot of our medicines. I don't even think I've successfully grown a yarrow like from seed. Once I learned what it was like, wow, it's been here the whole time. And they grow beautiful. The only reason why this one is small and I had to find it because the chickens eat it, and the one I put there wasn't big enough, so they keep eating it down, and it just keeps growing. So I had to actually put a cage around it, and it's probably gonna be like 3 feet. Um, what else is in here? This is this one section. This is nettle, stinging nettle, uh, edible. I don't interact with it much. I think it's in a lot of medicines, obviously teas. But I know what it is. It's in this one area. So I let this stuff grow. And all I really wanted out of this was to have some cover. And uh, this one I'm not going to touch. I'm going to start figuring out what it is. I don't like the look of it. It just tells me not for me. It has a funny smell as well. Uh, Here we go. Here's the big deal right here. The big ticket. This is mislabeled for sure. Catnip. I have catnip everywhere. I probably have 10 different plants. Uh, I saw was this I think I saw this at the natural food store. I think it was $26 an ounce. Was it an ounce or I don't think it was a pound. A pound of this would be too much. It was dried. It was $26. I saw the price and was like, we need to go home and start. We need to start this catnip thing. So that's catnip. Now, the catnip, you could tell right away. Catnip is in the mint family. Oh, it smells amazing. Um, Teas, it's in all types of medicines. It has like ridges on the leaf. It's edible. Um, I just love the smell. Anything in the mint family, rodents don't like. So keep those kind of things around. Say it's just random. This one I don't. Um, since we're doing a show and tell, I got some flowers in it too. So this is a ground ivy, and I love these. It has a nice little purple flower. I love these. So the smell, give it away. Yep, absolutely. So I love these. They vine, and its job is to keep the soil compacted. I mean, excuse me, not compacted. It's to keep the soil not running off, running away. So it kind of just sprawls. And this is also edible. I don't eat it, but yeah, never know. Um, but I keep it, especially when I'm not planting in an area yet. And this starts to grow. It's easy to take away. It doesn't seem to be deep rooted. It doesn't seem that if I disturb it, that I'm gonna have issues with it continuing to come back. So I use this as like a natural ground cover for a bed that I'm preparing or wanting to do something. So it just fills up this whole space. Um, it's it's so crazy how much stuff is here. All I did was turn the camera. There's other stuff that I don't even interact with. Uh, I don't have any purslane over here, but I'll show you this. Now this is I moved this over here. The other stuff I didn't move. It was just in a seed bank. So this is now I want to be clear. I've been calling and I want to say it's wild bergamot. And I have to do my research, but the reason why I won't call it bee balm is because I purchased a bee balm today and the leaves don't look the same. And I remember I had a seed pack and I was doing some research, and there's like a wild bergamot and then there's bergamot. But I did make tea with this. It has beautiful purple flowers. It's edible. I think it's also in the mint family. Uh, it smells good, but it doesn't have this strong, like punchy smell. And they make, I think it's called sun tea with the flowers, where you just leave the pink leaves in the sun, like in water, and it just like brews. I want to say this is the plant that you do that with. Now I think I have a mustard green just hanging out over here. I don't even want to pull that one up. And then there's some onions. But yeah, that was that's how I roll. I just roll in like diversity. Go understand algebra. Take care, Katie. I'm not gonna be out here too long. The sun is finally saying your time is up today. But yeah, no, this was cool. Um, yeah, so I'll be posting some content. Uh, so much done. It's amazing. I can't even say I put my mind to it. I think I just let it flow. I let it flow. I got so much done. And the only scary part about getting so much done is while I was in the rhythm, I was thinking about much more. It's like, oh my God, I can't wait till I get to that. Last night I had a chat uh and I was doing research about my garden, what I'm calling my garden hut. And I'm gonna convert my old chicken coop to a garden hut. And in order to do so, it seems like I'm gonna have to dig out and make a gravel pad Is there sound now? I closed the window and came back. Maybe I'm trying to get the message. But can you hear me now? Now there's sound. Hooray! Let me throw up my mic. I feel like, guys, thanks for joining the stream. Look, look what I built. Just wanted to show you guys real quick. A little platform. We're gonna have a little bench there. Hopefully, my internet will with me. All right, chickens. All right, we got a last little. They're having a last little chat before it's time to go in. Yeah, there'll hopefully be so much plants behind me soon. I do have to be careful because my mother-in-law gave me what's that, callaloo, which is like the comparison to collard greens in the West Indies. And I usually plant it. I have some that kind of grows wild and seeds itself, but she always like gives me a plant. And I was thinking nothing of it. My chickens were locked away for a week, and ever since they've been out now, and they were locked away. So when they got out, I had planted a callaloo in this spot over here on my shoulder, over my shoulder, and I saw one of my chickens going to town. So the one challenge with this beautiful situation is because I gave this is free access. How do you I have to actually put in more established plants, or I have to protect those plants in order for them to get to a stage where the chickens can't do damage to them, because they don't care. They are reckless. Um, but okay, they all made it inside. So yeah, I was talking about I've been getting a lot of projects done. You know what? Oh, I think you guys saw the garden, but you know what? It'll be better. I'll have better service anyway. I'll for the rest of the stream, but I want the garden backdrop. It might blip for 1 second, but I promise you. What's 1988? Okay, I'm not gonna make anyone sick. I just gotta pull the legs out of this tripod. Shadow Black, what's 1988? Okay. Tripod is up. Okay, we're going to max height. Okay, T minus. Alright, we're here now. So we shouldn't have lost anything. So this is what the garden's looking like now. And I got my fence. Oh, gotcha. So I got the fence done now. So there's no access. I got 4 rows in, and now I'm planning what I'm talking about. Is that the Jamaican plant? Yeah, callaloo. Absolutely. So what I'm talking about is turning, oops, turning this shed, this chicken coop into a garden hut. And one of the issues with that is that bottom part where you see wood where I'm pointing to, that's this hollow at the bottom. It was designed so that the chickens could go underneath, because when I didn't know any better, that's what I was told. That's what we learned. Oh, it's great to have a space for them to go underneath. So I went and freaking built a house mini house. I won't call it a tiny house. That's probably trivial at this point. Somebody will try to live in there. Um, it's a mini house, and but it's elevated. So I was showing you guys before how heavy it was, but now I'm thinking, okay, it would hurt just as much, hurt as in the pain to take it apart. It wouldn't cause me emotional pain because I wouldn't care, but I have to do something with the materials. I don't get off easy. It's not like, oh, I get that out of my life. No, when you get rid of something, destroy something, it takes time. It takes effort. It takes planning. It's all a part of it. And where's that stuff gonna go right away? So as I continue to walk past it, I'm like, no, I think I figured it out. The space is big enough to have a shed that I could go in. I could put a window on it. I could have storage in it. I have all these. I don't know what dream is gonna work out. Because yesterday I was talking about having a composting toilet and a shower on the other side. I'm doing it in a casino. And then I'll put a little pool and a cruise ship. But I did say a shower. We've always wanted an outdoor shower. So I'm like, it would be so cool. And I can't walk too far because I don't have the mic. But the coupe needs to turn this way and go back about 5 feet. Because over here, see that piece of wood? That piece of wood is where the fence line is to the front yard. So it needs to move. So you either destroy it, I'll reclaim the wood, but it won't be the same structure. Or could I repurpose it? But because it's sitting on stilts, so to speak, it's sitting on posts. How do I move it and get the most value out of it? Because it's on post, that it presents a challenge to move it. But if I'm getting rid of the post, could I, lift it? Not myself, but with hands. Could we get it lifted and put on something? So I'm thinking of putting it on a block wall. Block meaning cinder blocks, like concrete blocks, and putting a door frame and being able to walk inside of it, be out of the elements. I mean, it has the roof already. The whole structure is there. Why not? Now, is it big enough? Once you close the door, spaces feel more comfortable. But I don't know if I'm crazy with what I'm thinking about. And because I got so much work done and I feel that much safer that like I could still have the chickens out. The pen system is working. I do have one hen that has gone broody. I think that's because of the weather spikes. I wouldn't put that on me. I would put that on the weather spikes. So Mr. G, you gotta go fix the weather. Shadow Black know what I'm talking about. Mr. G on channel 11. But yeah, I'm thinking that this makes sense. I'm concerned about the effort, and once you plan stuff, just like what you just saw over there, it took over a month because I get to work on it a little bit at a time. So when you have an open project, they take longer, they're harder to organize. The tools that you may be using, you can't just use them for that. I don't have a whole nother set of tools. So like my pool, inside my pool, I'm using my pickaxe, I'm using my shovels, I'm using a rake. Well, I just took all of those tools away from my pools. My pool, I took all of those tools away. Now, when I go back in there tomorrow, because I can only take one day away from it. I'm gonna have to bring all those tools back in there. So it's literally a construction project, but I'm only one set of hands, and this is just a way that I've been able to do it. But this type of success right here, I think we're able to design something in a way where it's going to, um, it's obviously helping, but it's easier to maintain things once you do it the right way, so to speak, or just a way that works with you. Then you'll be better off. I'm into hardscaping now. Uh, Bring that lawnmower by. We're gonna keep that thing clean. Ah, brother Eric said, "Open my sinuses." Yeah, well, at least you know what you got, man. At least you know what you got. So what I do, um, I to learn plants, I move them from one spot to another. As in, I'll take one of the offshoots and move it. But be careful with moving the horseradish, like I said, because you don't need but a couple plants for your whole household. It is that vigorous. It will that the one that you saw over there. I'm not lying to you. That came from, I did a video. I don't know if you were around at that time. I did a video in the front yard. I wanted to make room for another currant. I had a currant that I was making room for, and there was a horseradish that was there. So I went and got the spade. I'm digging it out, and I'm taking out chunks of a horseradish this size, like chunks of it, and that it had no leaves. And when I put around the same time, I put this little situation by the run together, and I said, well, I don't have nothing to do with it, and I just stuck it in the ground and had no leaves. That no leaf thing, I have not watered that thing one time, and that's what you get right now. Above the ground, it's inside of a cinder block. The cinder block, this might be 5 by 5, and it's just vigor. Do I have a favorite plant? That's a I like questions. Thank you, Shadow Black. Um, I don't look at it like that. I may have something that I'm intrigued by, like now, because I'm learning about it. Yeah, I think that it's hard to just say, oh my God, this is my favorite. This is my favorite plant. They're all great, and they all teach me. Even the things I have to stay away from, like poison ivy. I'm just learning about, not learning how to stay away necessarily, but just watching its habitat and its culture, and if I want less of it, what can I do to stop supporting it? I'll show you some right here. Oh, dig them up, man. Dig up the Jerusalem artichoke, man. Eat the chick. Oh, the chickens will love it too. My chickens went to town on the Jerusalem artichoke. This is poison ivy right here on that fence, just hanging out. And I'm gonna cut the stem off when I get behind the fence. There's a big, nice size cane corso on the other side of the fence. So I'll do eat those tubers, man. If you want to call them tubers, that's a whole meal under the ground. That's a whole meal hanging out there. And I have shorts that I made because my Jerusalem artichoke. I think 2 years ago was when I finally got into the business. Um, that thing grew 13 feet, brother Eric. I have shorts, and people didn't really. It was hard to get the energy across. I was just amazed. Once you start growing mammoth sunflowers, you're like, oh, it's so huge. I was surprised at how big my Jerusalem artichoke was. I was just so surprised. And if, oh, look. Oh, well, cane corso right on time. Yeah, check them out. I think I made it like a little animation where I was going up the plant. Like in my head, I'm in the Garden of Eden. I'm like, just there's these feelings that I can't bring to life. So I used to try to make some creative, more ASMR videos. I remember doing one with the Jerusalem artichoke, and that thing was like 13 feet. And it's just amazing. Now, it's funny you say invasive because where I took that video at, it is dominating the area, and I'm gonna cut it back. I'm gonna get the food from it. I'm gonna get the food from it, right? But it's choking out some other plants that I'm watching the fight. It's like Holyfield and Tyson, like Jerusalem artichoke is winning, and of course, I can eat you, so I want you to win. So where I put it, I think Sean from Edible Acres, he's in Trumansburg, New York. I love his channel. I've purchased stuff from him in the past. Really good channel, and he's does like more of a permaculture nursery, which is a more interesting concept because most people think nurseries they're not thinking about perennials. So he does more of a perennial nursery, and I saw the Jerusalem artichoke on his channel, and it was like I assume it was like 5 or 6 feet. It was in I think when I saw it, it was in a more of a shaded area. So that makes sense as to why it was. So I put it in a place where I only wanted it to grow 5 feet. I'm 6'3", so I'm like, oh, this thing's gonna grow 5 feet. We gonna be good. Look at this section I'm designing. Next thing you know, I'm like Jack and the Beanstalk. But they're not only wonderful, they spread. Like you could move it around. I love going back to what Shadow Black was asked about my favorite plant. I love vigor. I love things that I don't have to babysit. That it just wants to be here and it wants to be happy, and they show me signs of what I'm doing. Oh, don't do that. You overwater it, and it's like I like communicating. I like learning how we both could enrich each other and we could fulfill, you know, our dreams, so to speak. Um, but so it's so much to learn. This year, I think I said it was gonna be my year to garden. It's happening. I'm gonna start eating out my garden, hopefully every day, even if it's just it's not that much. At least it's something. Not just randomly getting horseradish leaves. But yeah, man, we're doing it. We're doing it, and it's super fun to watch. Um, hey, I don't know much else to say. But look, guys, I've been on here. We've been hanging out. If you got any other questions, Shadow Black or anyone else, put them in the chat. I'll answer them. If not, I'll get off here. I feel naked without my hat. I don't know why, but I feel a little naked without my hat. My wife gave me the let's go eat. She didn't say wrap it up, but she just came from the store and was like, but yo, that garden hut is it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. So I'm gonna keep the dream. Well, I don't see any questions. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging around. I would. Where is my hat? Well, One hat. That's a good question. You caught me. You caught me. One hat. I'm looking at it in the ground. I launched it when I was in the pool. I was having a conversation yesterday with my wife, and she didn't listen to what I was saying about how she was using the rake. And I had a pickaxe in my hand. I was very caffeinated. And it took me back to a very immature time in life where sometimes you just got to let out the steam. And that's why I like working with my hands. I like getting the energy out. People when they have dogs, even though they stay inside, like my dog is inside, it's in a crate a lot because it's kind of overpowering to everyone that comes by. When a dog gets out, you could tell the dog is happy to get that energy out. A lot of my life is I have to try to get to a point where I can get that energy out. So I had this pickaxe in my hand, and I'm in the sand. I'm in a bad situation, so I start going at it. I'm like, just going for it, and in the process, my hat went off, and I just launched. And it's like all dirty, and it has sand in it. So I really don't want to put that back on my head. I mean, I know I have like 20 other hats. Can't find those either right now, but yeah, figure I'd just tell you that. But look, I'm getting out of here. Thanks for hanging out. It was an awesome stream. I'll see you guys on the next one. I got some more content coming, so always check me out. And, keep the good vibes. Peace.